Right, next one. Right, this one we're going to look at ands and ors. So these are used within ifs and whiles. Basically what it allows us to do is check for two conditions. So we're going to once again make a few numbers. Let's just say 5 and int n2 is 10. That's the same as the ones we used just now. Alright, so we have two options here. We have the and, which is just the ampersand. We can use just a single one, but it is better to use two. We'll get into that now, or why now. And then we've got or, which is just a downward line, or what we call pipe. Once again, it's preferable to use two of them, and we'll discuss that now. Right, so if we wanted to check if n1 is equal to 5, but what also matters is that we want to check if n2 is equal to 10. So we want both of these to happen. Then we're going to print out first and works if it is true. Alright, so let's see, and we get first and works. If we changed one of these and now made it, say, 80, it's now not going to print anything because this whole condition is met. So basically it breaks it down into two parts where we've got brackets around there. It checks if that's true. If we have the and, it then checks, is this also true? Okay, so we've got two booleans. It's just basically saying true and true is true. We can also do this with or. So if we did the same thing, n1 is equal to 5, or n2 is equal to 80. Then what this allows us to do is only one of these conditions then need to be true. We don't need both them to be true. So in this case, we need that to be 10 and that to be 5 to enter. For this case, we're just checking, is this one 5 or is that one 80? And so let's just do this, or now works. Alright, so if we run it, we'll see that first and works, so that works, or now works as well. We can change these values to whatever we want. So if we want that to be now 500, it'll work there. If we make this 15, so obviously n1 is still 5, and so that doesn't count. Now first and works. This doesn't work now because neither of these conditions are true. But we can change this to now be 10 as well, for instance. And now it works. So it checks, is this one true? Is that one true? Basically what this using the double one does, and we can actually see here, if we get rid of doubles, we can run it and we get the same result. The benefit that we get with putting double pipe is that it checks, as soon as it's got a true result, it just returns. So if that's true, it's going to stop and then print this out. Whereas if we just use a single one, it checks, is this true? Is that true as well? And then kicks out. So this is just slightly more efficient if we use the double values, or double and or double pipe. This can continue, so we could even put something like if n1 is equal to 5, or n2 is equal to 10, and n3 is equal to 15. Right, so this is saying, and we can also bracket it to just make sure that it does this in the correct order. So it's now doing this as a single one, so it checks, is n1 5? In this case it would be, so that's true. N2 is 10, so it's also true. In other words, this returns a true, so that works. It then also checks, is both of these true, and is that one true? So basically what this allows us to do is, let's just put a little print here. Is that we can go, even if we had to change this now to say 6, so obviously that's going to return false, or 10. because that is still 10 over there, it will return true, and that will return there. And so we can see there, we've got or now works and lots of conditions. The first one, this first and works, doesn't return true now because that's become 6. N1 needs to be 5 for this to work, and N2 needs to be 10 for that whole thing to work. Unfortunately, because of that 6, it now doesn't work anymore. And so we can use brackets to also check different variables like that. Okay.